line. Hey, the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Oh.
Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, here at PTM Racing TV, live here in Concord, North Carolina. We are here set today for the action of Citadel Rallycross League as they are about to set sail here at Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina. Their first race of the new season venturing ahead, and the drivers are preparing for what lies in their wake. Hi everyone, I'm CRX, trying to join you guys here today as we get settled to go here for our first heat set to go on the track. First heat is heading their way in the 11 of Carson McKenna. 383 on Marcos Palacio. In the 94, Finian Desuna, Josh W. Hall in the 13, and Luis Nunez rounding it in the 14. Heat number 1 set to stage, set to the field. Green is out. We're underway. Two heats in this race series here. We'll go out of the gate. Your reigning defending champion Luis Nunez already out to a hot start. The 14 jumps on the gun and takes full advantage. Behind him though, Carson McKenna trying to get some early runs here in the 11 as the number 94, Vinian Dusanya goes right for him. Vinian right now trying to get some speed going, trying to get some power under the hood here to get around to Carson McKenna as McKenna continues to try to fight for like Luis there. Marcos Palacio, the fishboard number 383, another driver you got to keep your eye on this season. Came so close to winning the championship out if it weren't for some just horrible breaks and horrible last-minute runs on that season go with Nunez looking to try to get right out into the fight and right back into the fray. Every driver for themselves though as the reigning defending champion, not only in the iRacing end but also in the world racing style here. Nunez, cat you can't take lightly, and he's a driver you certainly cannot hold back with. Josh W. Hall, good to see him back here in that T-Pack number 13 machine as well, driving around with the Subarus. As the Fords here are only 2 in plenty. Alexander Ebony will be the other Ford driver. You'll see him a little later on. As we're continuing to drive around the track, trying to give our drivers some time and position here. You can see the tight corners and tight spaces here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. A lot of drifty little ends, a lot of tough little spots to hit with. And of course, the lovely Joker lap that makes things so much more difficult to have to work around. It's actually a worse part of the track than it usually is for most things in America. This Joker is a little bit more clairvoyant, a little tougher to deal with. Palacio finds that out the hard way. Josh W. Hall a little all over the place here, trying to get some speed back underneath him as he's trying to work around the walls. With 2 laps remaining now here, it is Luis Nunez. Still a 5-second gap, but Garza McKenna slamming the wall protection down there, getting right in there with Palacio. Palacio, a little sideways. Can he hang on to it there? Can indeed. McKenna holds it right down on the play. Deals with that sideways position of McKenna there. Palacio takes full advantage, swings it to the inside on the right. Now back onto the track and right into the race spot for second. I said earlier, I'll say it again, you're going to have to keep an eye on him throughout this one because honestly, he may be a guy you may have to keep your eye on throughout. The Fanatec 94, Finian Ducina right now trying to get up there to Josh W. Hall in the 13 as Hall rips it way, way wide here in the corner here of what would have been the Charlotte Rovals turn number 4. Now driving off to the big jump, landing a beautiful corner there. He has to still deal with Hall behind him there as we come to our white flag lap now. Luis Nunez has the race lead. Picture perfect cornering by Nunez so far. Looking to finish this out. Yet to really make a mistake so far in this one. Looking to just keep it finishing out. The Fish Sport 11 number of McKenna right now trying to get back up to the other Fish Sport crew of Marcos Palacio though as both drivers in a hot fray, about a last minute dash here, coming down to the final turns and the final sets of corners. Palacio looking to try to hang on. McKenna has a run though, starting to build. Tikes a little tighter, a little bit of a wider course there. Then we'll try to tighten it up as Palacio makes a big roundabout turn. Open the door up here. McKenna trying to get to it as Luis Nunez on the final lap takes his Joker to the race win. Heat number 1 belongs to him. McKenna will outclass Palacio from the Joker. Palacio took his Joker late. McKenna strikes hard and wins this one for the second place spot. Palacio going third. He'll win the duel, but didn't win the war. Nunez has a little bit more to go still. Finian gonna bring it right around here in the 94 to the Fanatec machine. Will go 4th in this round. And Josh W. All final corners here. The PTAC is going to go ahead and get 5th. Good showing bar drivers here in heat number 1. And heat number 1 results are now popping up on your screen here. Heat 2 set for the staging area. Nunez coming away with the win. Palacio 2nd, 3rd to McKenna, 4th to Jusuna. Hall going 5th to round out your field. We are now set for your heat number 2 to the staging. Field of drivers now set to go. 5 laps to the distance. Robbie Lurell in the number 213, Alexander Abedi in the 99, the 23 is Benjamin Foster, and finally making his television debut out of France, Sebastian Kinder. Our first French driver of the series and of the show ever, and he gets a little bit of a warm welcome, if you will, from the crew. Benjamin Foster. American Forster, getting slid around, and the 23 gets taken for a wild ride there, unfortunately entering into the first couple corners. Alexander Ebony, no surprise here, the 99 already hot-footing it up to Robbie Lurell. Robbie Lurell right now trying to keep his speed up, trying to keep his momentum going here as we look on. The French driver trying to get some speed here as he tries a wider turn here. A little bit surprised there. He got a little wider off there in those corners. I would have thought he'd try to take it a little tighter like you would have seen earlier with not only Evedy but also with Nunez as he takes the Joker on his first set of lap. Maybe playing a little strategy here. Maybe trying to find the right angle, the right timing here to go with this early on. Remember as well, race fans, here today on PTM Racing TV, 3 calls to be made. The first one right now on your screen here with the Citadel Rallycross Racing League. But up next after this will, of course, be Pedal the Metal Racing League's Truck Series. The Butt Kicker 45 at Daytona International Speedway coming up here later tonight. Also, later tonight, Moonshining. It's time for Moonshiners Rallycross League as they bring out the heavy artillery of those Legend 34s. You'll see them live here at Sonoma Raceway. That comes as our final race of the day. Benjamin Forster right now trying to stay ahead of the moment, trying to get there to Sebastian Kinder. As right now, Sebastian holding the line down, keeping himself under control and in play here. Sebastian definitely showing some talent here, keeping that number 23 of Benjamin Forster behind him, but Forster not exactly giving him much time to breathe or think about this. He caught up to him rather quickly here, having to undergo some speed and some power under the hood. Still needs to take his Joker, and now that's going to cost him big time here. Benjamin able to outmaneuver him, winning this duel for now. Forster definitely getting the better of everybody here. But it's Robbie Laurel who has the power and the race lead in his hands and in his grasp. He's got a huge lead burrowed up on these boys. Alexander Ebony here trying to maybe make something work here in this 99. No, that's not us blinking in and out. That would be actually Alexander there having some mechanical problems down there. Ebony right now currently trying to get those Clutchcraft for Gremlins exercise, as well as trying to exercise those arms and legs just to make sure that he can be able to withstand this powerful beast in racing style that is known as rallycross racing. So many tough things to undergo and have so much tough wear and tears on your body that it is absolutely crazy what every driver must have to undergo as they deal with these kind of positions. As a white flag flies out, Robbie Laurel, the 213, has the race lead. And for a good reason too. His cornering, his jumps, and his speed tremendously powered in. But I get the feeling we did not get to see the full potential of Benjamin Forster. Judging by his I rating, judging by his safety rating, and the way he drives, the way he's been racing today, I have a feeling you may need to be careful about this cat on the track, because he seems like he built a lot of speed up late in there. As the final Joker lap is taken for Robbie Laurel here around the final corners to the checker flags. The 213 will take heat number 2. Ebony coming away with a solid second, and Forster coming around his Joker finally will take third. Sebastian Kinder will have to settle for fourth. Last chance qualifier coming up here. Constellation race now being put up for show. We'll see them in just a second. Here is your Heat 2 results popping up on your screen. As Robbie Laurel coming away first. Alexander Reddy goes second. Third to Benjamin Forster. Fourth to Sebastian Kinder. Austin Derbyshire was supposed to be running. Did not make the call. Alright, race fans. We've got 3 cars right now settled up. 4 on the track now. Hall, Sisuna, Forster, Kinder, and McKenna will be your final 5 in this one. Last chance qualifier coming up now. Field set to go. And we're off. And through the first straightaway we go here. Through the first corners there. Race lead immediately given to Benjamin Forster. Forster has the early advantage on the 23 of the 11. Of course, McKenna tries to hunt him down. Finian Desuna right now looking to try to keep up the ground, try to get the clearance going here. Every driver for themselves, no harm or fouls here. Just keep speeds up and keep the run going. That's the way you do it in Rallycross. The RPMs need to be high. You need to keep these corners tight, and you got to make sure you are blending the car in with every ounce of track and momentum you can. Mixing in the crossbred of the dirt and the asphalt, it is an absolute challenge in its own right. McKenna though straight to the inside of Forster, dealing with the 11 of Carson McKenna. McKenna managing to hold on though. Oh, until now though, both drivers slamming into one another into the corner, into the dirt corner. Forster able to hold off just long enough. Andy Suna making a nice corner around here, and the number 94 of the Fanatec Subaru trying to get right back into the mixes after that huge hit suffered by Forster and McKenna. That's a huge gain in ground and a huge loss of timing there for McKenna. Knows he cannot make mistakes with this level of field and this level of driving styles. It's just way too difficult to really bolster back and maintain from that. Sebastian Kinder right now on the 98 side of here, going to be one of the first Frenchman drivers to ever win it out here on the show. We've got a whole nationality, by the way, on this show here. Take a, as we get one here, a little crossover in between. Little fish sport action from the 11 of McKenna. And Kinder not able to keep the TWR number 97 ahead. He's outclassed there. The Fish Sport 11 now looking to just continue to ride around the track, over the hills, over the corners, and the bumps and the slides. There they go. I was just about to talk about this too here. Let's take a look at our nationality. We got Americans and Nicholas Shriver. Canadians down like Austin Derbyshire. Marcos Palacio out of Argentina. Caleb Alexander Ebony out of Germany. Luis Nunez, you saw him earlier, he represents Spain. And Sebastian Kinder is our lone Frenchman we've ever had here on PTM Racing TV. You want to talk about nationalities? We've got them all here, my friends. This is what it's all about. 2 laps left to go here. Finian trying to get up there to Forster, but Forster, I think honestly, like I said at the top of that last heat, I believe you did not see the most out of him. I believe you did not get the most in his car. Well, he certainly is making my statement come true and clairvoyant here. White flag up in the air. Forster. Now it's 2 to go, but company ahead. DeSuna. Here comes DeSuna on the right side. Drives it in the crossover, looking for the pass. But Forster is able to block it. Defends by driving it harder off on the outside. Now it's DeSuna that needs to take control. Both drivers in a hot stand foot still here in the last chance qualifier. Diving it in deep, looking for that final corner. DeSuna was not able to get the corner panel there. Forster to maybe bump and run him a little bit, get him a little loose. Both now swinging a wide turn. Remember, they got to get that car to swing in a 180 degree. That's a pretty much an E-brake set there. And DeSuna also has to take the joker for couldn't get it done earlier. That will cost him. That's why he drove so hard for the end. But the last chance qualifier belongs to Forster. DeSuna though, whoa, great climax sequence there between him and McKenna. McKenna nearly taking this one away from him. But it's Forster who comes away the win. DeSuna getting that second and third. And McKenna, Josh W. Hall, and Sebastian Kinder will have some work to do. Well, we'll take a look at our warm-up. We'll take a look at our warm-up session here in a minute here, but let's take a look at our last chance qualifier here for our drivers. Here's how we played it out. Forster with the win, DeSuna going second, third, and McKenna fourth to Hall. Ginner getting fifth, and sixth to Derbyshire. Did not qualify. A main warm-up session is now in session. Four minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock here for these drivers. We'll get them squared away here on the track as we currently now look on and ahead of what we've seen here so far in our racing series today. The Citadel Rallycross League, man, I tell you what, we saw some incredible moments last season. We saw some wild moments in between. We're getting that and then again some here again on this show. Now, the one thing I will say that we're going to really need to keep our close eye on, and hopefully as we get later this season and into this session, is we're going to see a little bit of a mix-up between drivers getting aggressive versus drivers maybe putting up too much for grabs or too much on the line when they absolutely probably should be playing it just a little bit safer. But I will say this too, though, is that when we talk about some heavy hitters out here, of course we've seen with the championship caliber of racing Luis Nunez is brought to the table. We've seen what Marcos Palacio can do in a consistent basis, but I mean, you kind of got to mix up the mix-up puzzle here. You've got a guy that just flat out just dominates when he comes out on the track in Nunez, and you got a guy that's pretty consistent with how he can finish and position himself as long as he just stays out of trouble. Marcos Palacio. But there are some underlings here and some drivers we haven't really seen before that we don't know fully whether or not they actually are going to be at the top tier level. Guys like Labi Rillo, we've seen Benjamin Forster earlier as well do that. Alexander Ebony, we've seen his talents. We know he can outdrive and outsmart some guys. But even he has admitted as such that when he's kind of mixing in between both the rallycrosses from this one and the one you'll see later on, which is a little bit more fun in the Moonshiners Rallycross League, it's a wild goose chase, to say the least. It could be a bit of a handful. So I expect, on my end here anyway, for these drivers, I expect a lot of guys to really bolster down and hammer off in the distance. I really do think that. I think you're going to see a lot of crazy moments in between. You're going to see a few guys maybe put into some unique situations, some tough little spots, and here or there you'll just see kind of momentum built up around the track and more speed built off as the track starts to break off. The more it does slick up though, the harder it's going to be to hold the line down, and then the asphalt ends are going to be a little bit more tricky to keep it from getting too tight or getting too loose. With that fresh asphalt there and that dirt, you mix it in with some of that loose gravel that thrown into that tighter end surface of the asphalt rubber burn down, it becomes a challenge, I can tell you that much. Of course, race fans, we do want to say real quick that we do appreciate you for all your support and everything, for you guys coming on board throughout the season, throughout this times, as well as unfortunately when we had lost a little bit of trouble down there on our end here. We had a little bit of a situation where our YouTube end was the only place we can go to because Facebook kind of cock blocked us, if you know what we mean. So we managed to get in touch with them. We managed to work out some deals and get everything figured out. Hopefully this is the only time we'll have that trouble. So thanks for sticking around and helping us out. And again, if you guys we do appreciate the support. If you guys can support back us here, though, be sure to give us a like and a follow on this Facebook end and also on the YouTube end. Feel free to subscribe. It certainly does a number for us and everything. Last minute racing getting down on the track. Last minute chances being put up for grabs. Everybody well aware and well thought of to stay in with this here. They know they've got themselves a challenge on their hand. They know they have a lot more at stake in this race. This race could set the tone in a huge way for everybody out here, as we are now finishing up the last bit of our warm-up. The A main is coming up. And with that, it is time, race fans, here on PTM Racing TV. The time has come. We have hit to the feature event. It is time for your warm-up session to start up and conclude this race out today here for the Citadel Rallycross League. We see in this field the number 14, Luis Nunez, the 213, Robbie Laurel, the 11, Carson McKenna, the 99. Here it's piloted by Alexander Ebedy, the 383 of Marcos Palacio. The 6th driver will be the 23 of Benjamin Forster. In the 7th slot, Finian Di Suna. In the 94, the 97 is Sebastian Genda. And Josh W. Hall will be the 13. The 10th spot is the 64 of Austin Derbyshire. And Nicholas Shriver in the 41 will be in the 11th if he is able to make the call. Either one of them have not made the call yet, and I do not believe they will be able to this case here. They may be helping out a little bit with some race control, to say the least. We'll have to see, though, as our field is getting set to go, awaiting our gridding order and awaiting the flags to pop up. The lights are on. We are set to go. And the green flag is out. We are underway. 10 laps to the distance for your A main. Into the subset of corners, and Luis Nunez! Nunez is upside down in turn number 1. The number 14 driver, the reigning champion, upside down in the first set of corners. All of a sudden, and absolutely pandemonium has struck here in Concord. What has happened to the 14? We got to take a look at the PTM instant replay. Take a look at this one more time. Look at this move right here. Nunez goes for broke early. Laurel gets a little clip there. But Laurel and him both colliding. Both drivers actually getting a bad end of it. But Laurel actually was able to get away easier than Nunez was. Nunez completely taken out of the wind. Taken out of the wall here. 9 laps in the distance here right now. The field continuing to move their way around the track here. Alexander Ebony taking full advantage of that mistake there by Laurel and Nunes. Ebony knows this is maybe his only chance to strike and conquer while he can, but he's got company behind as Forster is not giving out just yet. Nunes has parked it. The car's done. It's over. Nunes will have to result in a broken motor. The engine is blown. It's done for the day. Ebony goes into the Joker lap, takes it early. He'll lose position as he moves back behind. Forster takes the race lead. Falacio hunting him down. Benjamin Forster, the 23 and the 383 of Marcos Palacio having themselves a little duel on their hands as the field continues to move their way around the chains, looking for positions and looking to strike while they can. Kinder driving really wide into the turns, using a little bit of that wall protection as kind of some saving grace help, if you will. Isn't quite getting the momentum to swift his way though. Got to be careful here, can't overdrive the corners too much. Andy Suna is going to go into his Joker lap now, entering into the Joker fray, must stay inside those lines in order to complete the proper Joker lap. Down across the jump here into the position. Forster moving back ahead, back behind the corner here. Carson McKenna has now been thrown down in pit road as well. Problems down there for the 11 and some major hitters already struggling to keep up and struggling to keep in pace. Alexander Ebony keeping him up in the 4th place spot here, looking to try to get right back into it. Suna here though also not too far out of this one as the 94 looks to try to get back up to Sebastian Kinda. Into the Joker laps now. Alexander moves into the 3rd spot from 4th. Coming right around the track here into the playing field zone. Benjamin Forster and Palacio hard cornering into the turns here. They are both in a dead heat block fight. So many tight ends, so many tight corners here that to work around. You can just see those rear ends sliding so far out. Again, you're just flat tracking, dirt tracking it, call it what you will. To me, it is rallycross style racing at its finest, in my opinion. Forster and Palacio still down each other's throats here, trying to outplay the other. No one giving an inch. Remember, Forster and Palacio have not used the Joker. Ebony has. So he right now, the way he's positioned, he can easily take this one away from both of them, but catching so quickly up to him and then having them both make a mistake could be risky. Maybe staying back just a little bit once he's caught him is probably going to be the strategy and going to be his pinpointed momentum here, but he needs to keep speeds. He needs to keep up with the run. It's not going to be an easy getaway if you can just catch up like that. And speaking of catching up like that, Laurel, man, talk about having to catch up to the entire field. Caused in that first wreck with Nunes. Nunes cost so much time. Laurel trying to hang in there and steal the slot light back away. We know he has speed. He showed it earlier. Palacio entering into his Joker lap. Cost himself 2nd place though to Ebony. Now Forster, the only one left on the list that has yet to do it. Is he going to wait for the white flag to come out before he enters the Joker? It's a really big risk to do so. Nunes. What is Nunes doing down there? He's parked the car over on the side skirt there. And it looks like he's trying to refire. Yeah, he has refired it. Nunes is not going to quit. The reigning defending champion does not want to give out that easily. He'll bring the 14 back out on the track, but it really is all too little too late to try to strike back in this one. Ebony now taking the race lead away from Forster. Forster gave Ebony his chance and gave him the opportunity. Ebony moves back into the race lead with 4 laps remain. A close fight out here for all these drivers. Neither one giving an inch, to say the least. Look at the work on that wheel there. You can see him turning hard left in, hard right off. You can see he's manipulating as if it was like a drifter's kind of style mentality. That is how you work the field. Throttle control, throttle rhythm. We've always talked about how difficult it is to do that on road courses. This is a whole nother animal. because what it's doing is testing everybody in their toughest slots and their toughest spots here to see who can outplay the rest and who can outplay the best. Three laps remain now. The field is getting closer and closer to the end. Sebastian Kinder, big cat holding on to 6th here. Robbie Lorell moved into the 5th slot here, managing to just completely nullify all the mistakes made earlier and really making this up for grabs. 2 to go. Green flag high in the air. We have just 2 more sets left. What next time by we switch to green, we go to the white. The Argentinian driver here, the 383 of Marcos Palacio, trying desperately to manage to whip up on the speed and trying to get up there to Forster. Forster looking for a last grip, a last race, run if you will. Maybe a last dash, something to get Ebony. He's not giving up that easily though. Ebony now one more time through the corners. He's got just 1 lap remaining. White flag high in the air. Alexander Ebony has got the lead. Marcos Palacio passed up there by Forster as well. Forster managing to take full control of this momentum in this run here, left flat on the track. Ebony currently still fighting some glitch graphic gremlins. Has to be careful they don't take his soul too quickly here. Last thing you need is to lose it out right here and now. I don't think it's going to happen here. Off into the final 2 sets of corners through the 180. Now to the swinging 90-degree into the final sharp left. Alexander Ebony brings home the race win and takes it at Charlotte, Carolina's North Concord Speedway's Charlotte Motor Speedway. A huge break and win for the 99 driver out of Alexander Ebony, coming away after so much tight spots and tight corners and tight ends here. Finally gets a breakthrough and wins one out. Impressive display of performance and control, and a very big win for a driver, definitely deserving of being such as one. Alexander Ebony as your race winner confirmed now here on the show. He'll take the first win home in the season opener here in Concord, North Carolina's Charlotte Motor Speedway RX track. But of course, coming away second, give the credit where credit's due to Benjamin Forster. Put up a great fight from the start to the finish. Marcos Palacio going third. Finian Di Suna goes 4th, 5th to Robbie Lorell. 6th goes to Sebastian Kinder. 7th to Luis Nunez. 8th to Carson McKenna. 9th to Josh W. Hall. Austin Derbyshire did not qualify either or race today. That rounds out the field. What a performance, race fans, by all involved, and a tough break for some. We'll have to see how that plays in. We'll factor everything in later on and see how it goes. But for now, we say thank you to the Citadel Rallycross League. We'll see more of them as we continue through the season. So again, be sure to like and follow us up on Facebook. Subscribe on our YouTube. And you guys will never miss this show. We thank you again, race fans. We'll see you next time here on PTM Racing TV.